Hold on. Wait a minute. There you go.
It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COWMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Wednesday, June 18, 2025. This is episode 901 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Sierra Montgomery, the Cosmic Cowboy, Phil Stafford, Elliot Matisse in the San Francisco Connection, Jenny Housley and Dan Reardon and Mod Chat, Devin Grady, JT Webb in the Retro Synthwave Action. Guys, Space Tacos in the Sippy Cup. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll do it everything in my power to deliver cyber risk reduction insights to Anthony S., Not Only IT, Poner Joe, Blood, Sweat, and Ridge, Devin Grady. Guys, I am going to be doing it, and you're going to be part of it too. This is an experience, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. We're going to go through 8 stories today, top current cyber threat intelligence action. You can get the headlines and understand, hey, what does this mean for me today? How can I convey this to my team? But we're going to go beyond the headlines. 20 years of experience, a bunch of passion for the industry. I'm going to be, oh yeah, I just realized something. I'm going to be, going deeper and trying to give you insights on bigger picture stuff, like things you won't learn in a textbook. Like, why is risk assessment hard? Why do CEOs not want to invest in cyber? What's a compelling way to convince the CEO to give you money? Why is the CIO sometimes managing the CISO? What the hell? What's going on with that? That and more we're going to be answering you. Now, I just want to quickly comment. I just noticed this really quickly. Normally, I have another light, and if you're a nerd for production, so like Devin Grady, Phil Stapp, like people who have taken the PBCC course, I don't have my fill light on, which is why this side of the face is super dark. So we've got the, this is episode 901, the dark and moody episode. So get ready for some introspection and some monologuing, I suppose. We got a great show for you, dude. I'm being serious. I want you to know, if you're not a practitioner already, this show can certainly be of assistance to you because you will be asked in any job interview. Frankly, even if you're already in a cyber job and you're going for another cyber job, you're going to be asked in those interviews, how do you stay current on the industry? And my friends, The Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief is a perfectly great answer, in my opinion. It hits all the boxes, checks them all, and, take what we say on the show and run with it. Make it your own. You will not just showing up isn't enough. You have to show up, pay attention, and take the data, mine those nuggets out and then use them for yourself. You need to be able to understand what's going on. That's why people ask you, how do you stay current? Now, I want you to know, of all the Dark Knight episode, wait, hold on. No, Elliot Matisse, I expect you to hear the news.
Spicy.
All right, guys, for real though, if I don't research or prep for any of the shows, right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So I'm going to be bringing you rough, rugged, raw initial reactions and my opening thoughts. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm not just the president of Simply Cyber. I'm also a member. That's a throwback to the men's club, hair club. If you're an old person like me, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you're a Gen Z, it'll probably come back. It seems like a lot of things are being brought back. Guys, I want to say before we get into it, thank you all for being here. It's all about good times. It's all about fun, but it's also all about getting that work done. And before we do it, I do want to give a special shout out and holla to the stream sponsors, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions and their Fortify 365 solution. Now remember, guys, everything I talk about, there are links in the description below. If you do go click on the links, it's great for the show because then it shows to the sponsors that people in the community are interested in checking out the things that we're talking about. I personally can assure you I vet all of the sponsors as far as like their product and services go, so you're not going to get some stupid in fact, I went and had a call with a company yesterday, and they're like, oh, we want to promote this new product we have, and I was like, okay, cool, let me use it. And I used it, and it sucks. Like I've got to send an email after the show today to let them know that it's not going to be a good fit. I won't tell you who it is because I don't want to trash them, but it's not good. But you know what is good? Fortify 365. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? With business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your defensive shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, and safeguard your sensitive data. Do your job. That's what it is. They help you do your job. They've helped countless organizations, including my own, strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world threats. Don't wait, literally, do not wait until after a breach to take action. That's the worst time to do it. Visit Fortify365.com today to learn how you can secure your Microsoft environment against tomorrow's threats. Guys, let them help you. Let them help, though. Fortify365.com. All right, thank you, Barricade Cyber. Guys, as always, I'd love to say shout out to Delete Me. And I am aware that my video freezes. I'm working on that. Probably today. Yo, Delete Me. They make it easy, quick, safe to remove. Here, let me look over my lower third here. To remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone, including you, vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work for you, which is great, of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. I get my monthly report, and they tell me what they've been doing. The nice thing is I've been using them for a while, so they've scrubbed a lot of the bad stuff, and now it's like more in a maintenance mode, which is wonderful. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me because I care about my kids, my wife. I do have a very, very public life with the Simply Cyber community, but I also have private life. Every one of us, dude, Terrence Billingsley, Augusta Delgado, Kyle, Alpha Sierra, we're all community members, but like, let's be real. We have our own personal private elements too. We have our own private things that we get to choose who we share with, right? So privacy is a big deal, and when it comes to your online data, your personal data online, that's something you should control. Take control of your data, keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our Simply Cyber listeners. You can get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get the 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Code simplycyber. Holla, 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 holla. All right, guys, check it out now. I want you to know we'll do the other two ads, the Threat Locker, in a hot minute. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Threat Locker now. We'll do Antisyphon at the mid-roll. We'll do the two ads at the mid-roll because we're going to do the fun activity right now, the Worldwide Wednesday. All right, so listen, guys. If today is your first episode, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I would like to personally welcome you here. Everybody is welcome. Simply Cyber's core values are support, so we want to make sure that you're supported and you get the things you need. Inclusion, we want you to know that you're welcome here. The circle can always be bigger. No dumb questions, no toxicity. And empowerment. We're going to give you the tools you need. You have to take action on it. We empower you. And you know what? Some of that self-accountability and initiative is going to serve you well in your career. Those are our core values. So if you're a first-timer or you're a recent joining person and you hadn't understood what we're about, now you know that's what's up. But we're also all about good times. So if you're a first-timer, drop a hashtag and first-timer in chat, hashtag first-timer in chat. But one thing that we do, good morning, AA Witherspoon. One thing that we do every single Wednesday is go around the world. Worldwide Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is Simply Cyber's core values include inclusion, but we literally demonstrate it every Wednesday with this little 2-minute activity. So if you don't like fun, that's cool. I'm not going to judge you. Go get a coffee. Go hit the head. Go for a walk. Whatever. Because we're going to do this right now, and you can come back and just do the news, and there's no judgment. Again, I support you. Whatever you want. But for the rest of us, let's go. Hey, TIA, T.I space A is a first-timer. Squad members, you know what to do. TIA, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, here we go, TIA. We got the map. Compliments of Marcus Kyler and the Yeet crew. Do I have Yeet on here? I do not have Yeet on my soundboard right now. Yeet. There we go. I'll do it manually. All right, guys. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. I'm going to set the clock. All right. You tell me. Where you at? Where you at? And we're going to light this mother trucker up. Tech Grunt is in Colorado, starting us off right. Lighten it up. United States online. Palm Beach, Florida is online. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania is online. Sempelis is in Poland. Poland is online. What's up, Europe? I see you. Tempe, Arizona. Let's go. Let's go, New York. Holla, holla, holla. Salt Lake City. Way to go, Danny. All right, we got Fred from Berlin, Germany. Germany's online right now. Hey, Germany. Good to see you. Love the beers. Nashville, Tennessee. We got the Raleigh, Durham. Charles M., first timer. Just throwing it in there. We got Ghana online. What's up? Chi-Town, Mount P, South Carolina. I love it, Mark Lester. Hey, Virginia. I see you. Egypt in the house. Africa's coming on strong. Thomas is in the UK. Whoops. Hold on. I lit up Ireland. Somebody's got to be from Ireland because I already lit it up. Kenya's in the hezzy. Where's Kenya? Boom. Whoop. Oh, my God. Somalia. Dude, I'm having a lot of misfires today. Bogota, Colombia. What's up? South America's online. Yes, sir. We got Australia in this house. India. Nice, dude. India's here. What's up? We got Australia. Guys, we've already done it. Now we're just bragging. D Crash is in Rhode Island. Code Brew's in the upstate. Damien is in Jamaica. I'm not sure if I can get Jamaica. I think I can. Here we go. Jamaica. Jamaica me crazy, am I right? All right, Jamaica's online. San Francisco connections online. Code Brew's part Irish, so we'll call Ireland partly lit up. Texas, Montana, Big Sky country. What's up, Cabin San Lucas, Mexico? Looks like Real Bilbo's on a vacay. Nigeria, hello. Nigeria's getting some serious IT investments. Love it. What's up, Big Texas? Bangladesh. I see you, Bangladesh. Doink. Right next to India. Canada's online. Maple Leafs. What's up, Virginia? Mexico, North America's fully lit up. Look at us go. Cabo San Lucas, baby. What's up? What else we got? Australia. Yeah, Richard Duff, you brought the heat today, my man. Dark Coast Star. Happy Wednesday. Yes, sir. Jamaica. Puerto Rico's in the house. Good morning, Puerto Rico. Oh my gosh, what a friggin' run, guys. Hey, TIA and Charles M, what'd you think about that? You like apples, baby? All right, let's do the inventory, even though I already did it. North America, South America. Thank you to Bogota, Colombia for bringing South America online. Africa, strong presence. Europe, strong. We got India, Bangladesh, lighten up Asia. And then Richard Duff, lone man, holding it down in Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you build an inclusive community right there. Holla! All right. So amazing, so amazing. All right. I was going to open the slider over here so I could not be Bane version of Jerry today, but I think I'm going to roll with it. I'll try to be like more Liam Neeson and Taken. You know what I mean? Like, I have a certain set of skills. Oh my God, by the way, have you seen the Liam Neeson Naked Gun trailer? If you haven't, I literally am okay with you leaving the stream to go watch it. It is funny. If you watch the Leslie Nielsen ones back in the day, Liam Neeson has done it. It's excellent. All right, guys, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news
Spicy!
and the DJ B-Sec infection wash over us in an awesome way. I will see you all at the Midroll. And Real Bilbo, are you on a beach right now with like a drink that has an umbrella in it, listening to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief? Let me know.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Hackers exploit critical Langflow flaw to unleash Flodrix botnet. Attackers are actively exploiting a critical vulnerability in Langflow, a Python-based AI workflow tool to deploy the Flodrix botnet, enabling full system compromise and DDoS attacks. The flaw is present in versions before 1.3.0 and allows unauthenticated code execution due to missing input validation. Trend Micro and CISA both urge immediate patching and restricted access, since the malware uses stealth techniques to evade detection and is being deployed widely in the wild.
Okay. Let me look at this really quickly because this is a clever attack. Let's see. So this isn't about I see. Here's the thing. I don't understand the architecture of this thing. Phil Stafford is an AI guy. John V's an AI guy. Maybe they have some insights in this. Here's the thing. There's a lot of attacks right now where threat actors are putting in malicious code into GitHub repos that are popular. And this Langflow one is a GitHub, so an open source software. It has 70,000 stars, which is basically like prestige in the GitHub community. And also lends itself to its credibility. So people, if your GitHub repo has 70,000 stars, like you're like you like get immediately trusted. Okay, a lot of threat actors are getting in there and making commits of malicious code. That is not what's happening here. Again, I'm not super well versed on this, but essentially what is happening, and I do have a lesson learned from you, a lesson learned for you. What's happening is there's these Langflow servers that are out on the internet, and if they're misconfigured, threat actors are able to compromise them and make it so people who are interfacing with them will download malware, and then the malware will result in total system compromise. So this is really very similar, in my opinion. This is really very similar to the amplification denial of service attack paradigm, where threat actors were exploiting misconfigured memcache servers. This is like a pretty nuanced example, but maybe I can get a graphic for you. Yeah, this was like big a few years ago. And I invite you to go Google it. It's a great case study in distributed denial of service attack. but essentially threat actors were able to attack misconfigured memcache servers that are on the internet, and then basically change the source IP to the victim's IP address and result in like a massive distributed denial of service attack. For the longest time, like the largest recorded denial of service attack was actually a memcache amplification attack. Okay, so this right here, they can use it for denial of service attacks, as you can see right here, but the capability is better, in my opinion, from a threat actor perspective, because you can fully compromise these servers. So imagine the same thing, except instead of exploiting the protocol for how the memcache server sends data, you're basically taking over these memcache servers. Again, this is just an example. We're talking about Langflow servers because they're hot for AI agents. I don't have the sounder on my board, but I'll do it manually. AI agents are so hot right now. Like, tons of people are going to use it. So it's basically a rich field for threat actors. If you think about it, threat actors, they're basically attacking the supply chain. So instead of me attacking Phil Stafford, right, I attack these Langflow servers, and then people who are writing code to do AI agent stuff are going to get attacked. So interestingly, this is if you think about the attacker psychology here, okay, and roll with me on this one. If you think about the attacker psychology here, this is one of those attacks where they do not know who they're going to get. They infect a bunch of servers. It's like poisoning a watering hole in the Serengeti. You don't know what animals are going to come up and drink out of it, so you don't know what you're going to kill. Same thing here. You infect these servers, you don't know what you're going to get. However, it's worth noting that these servers are deliberate purpose built for helping people write AI agent software. And while, yes, I can goof around and write an AI agent piece of code and have it flit around with these Langflow servers, there's probably a lot of businesses that are scrambling their R&D departments to get this stuff going. So for your return on your investment, it's probably pretty good that you're going to get some, valuable victims that are businesses. Again, this is just the attacker psychology, right? In 2025, attackers are smart. They're deliberate. They do the whole kill chain. It's not my crime is curiosity. It's none of that anymore. It's like straight cash, homie, okay?
Straight cash, homie.
So in my opinion, doing threat modeling, yes, you can use threat intelligence for threat modeling, but you should also think about the victim, the attacker psychology as well, a little bit, to understand what's their motivations and why and what. All right, so TLDR. Here's the thing. I don't know if you can patch this, because this is a problem with the Langflow servers, not your code, right? So just be mindful of that. You may want to make your R&D department. Here's the thing, like AI is so hot right now. It's like it's hard to know where it's being done. It's not like people have an AI department they're working on. It's more like engineering's doing it, and IT is doing it, and frankly, InfoSec is doing it. DevOps people are doing it. It's like all over the place. So this is like one of those ones where I literally don't know how you're going to fix this one, just because you could look for traffic going. This is like so janky, but you could like look for traffic going out to known Langflow server IP addresses. You'd have to go get the Langflow server IP addresses. I don't know if the protocol for Langflow accounts for this, and there's an easy way to find it. But yeah, this isn't great. Let's see. Trend Micro suggests that you run the platform Langflow version 1.3 later to mitigate this thing. Yeah, it's just, here's my thing. It seems like if you're going to host one yourself, I guess you could host your own Langflow server and get it patched and updated. So that's a good way to do it. So there you go. You got to patch it.
Organizations warned of vulnerability exploited against discontinued TP-Link routers. CISA has warned that attackers are exploiting a critical command injection flaw, affecting multiple discontinued TP-Link router models. Agencies must remove affected devices by July 7th. CISA also flagged active exploitation of Apple products, a media processing flaw used in targeted attacks, patched in February with iOS 18.3.1 and macOS 15.3.1.
All right, hold on.
Russia detects its
All right, hold
first supercard.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me hold on. Charlie Montoya, did you get a job? Hold on. What I saw him mention Wrecking Ball. What are we doing? It is. All right, so Space Tacos. If Space Tacos drops a emote, I know it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Montoya getting a job. I don't know exactly what it is, but you did it, dude. Nailed it.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done, sir. Okay, so CISA's warning of a basically end-of-life TP-Link network device that has some type of injection flaw that can lead to critical, probably takeover. It's also being actively exploited in the wild, which should elevate your concern, right? Because that means there's a tool out there that's popping holes in things. Two things. Number one, what are we doing here? Like, if you're right, like TP-Link is already like I don't know. As far as I know, TP-Link is a consumer grade product, not an enterprise grade product. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's hold on. In all the things I've ever done, here, TP-Link, here, let's go look at it. This TL. Oh my God, bruh. I just want to highlight this thing. All right, hold on. You're not slowing me down today, Google Chrome. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. This is one of the ones that is impacted right here, okay? Okay, 300 meg wireless router. This isn't, like, as far as I know, maybe this is enterprise grade. I don't know. How much does this thing cost? You click on it, you get an Amazon. Like, literally, come on, dude. This is TP-Link's own website. And when you click, oh, okay. That was not an intuitive interface. Currently unavailable. Good. So you can't buy this on Amazon, which is nice. So these are consumer grade products. Why are organizations using these? And then they're end of life. So it's a 2-year-old vulnerability that's being exploited. Like, everything about this makes you want to puke. Like, first of all, legacy systems. Number 2, consumer grade product in enterprise environments. Number 3, it's 2 years old. Like, you've had plenty of time. Don't tell me like, oh, the maintenance window was tight this weekend. Like, bro, get off of it. Number 4, like, how about system lifecycle presence? Like, again, I will say this. I will give you this, okay? This is highly unlikely if you don't have these assets. Dude, a wireless access point is typically not internet facing. Now, you can configure it to have an internet facing IP, right? So like its WAN connection is internet facing because it's a router. But realistically, when we deploy wireless access points, it's on an internal network, right? And it routes back to some type of main router or switch or whatever. Again, these are routers. Without getting super into the weeds on this, like, routers create networks. Switches connect endpoints and devices and stuff like that. Like, it's layer 3, layer 2. I know switches have layer 3 capability now, so please don't, I know. But like, layer 4. Wait a minute. Hold on, am I having a brain fart? Layer 3, layer 4. Yeah. Layer 3, layer 4. I am sorry. No, layer 2, layer 3. Yeah, layer 2, layer 3. I was right. Jesus Christ. It's been a minute since I did Sec Plus. Okay. Here's the deal. If this is the thing, run your environment, okay? Scan your environment. If you're running end of life technology and it's actively being exploited, you are taking massive amounts of risk. Number two, get a system lifecycle plan in place. Get some budget, get some hardware replaced. I'm not suggesting in any way that you go over and pour a cup of water on this device. I'm not saying that. Okay? Now, if that did happen, obviously the device would fail and it would need to be replaced. But that is not a best practice. Do not do that, okay? You should do it the right way with configuration management, budget requests, and stuff like that. I don't know if it's possible, but you may want to consider pushing logs. If you can't do anything to change this right now, you may want to consider pushing logs from these devices in some capacity back to a SIM or whatever, and putting detections in place for whatever this exploit is. You might be able to detect the exploitation of the device, okay? So at least if you're looking at your InfoSec program, you may not be able to do left of boom. You may not be able to protect it, but you at least could reduce your mean time to detection, which is a huge metric to care about, and hopefully prevent lateral movement within your environment of threat actors, okay? TP-Link. Dude, TP-Link was just in the news the other day that, like, the United States thinks that China's been going, girls gone wild or whatever, like going bananas, going crazy, going, what is it? Wild on? Is that the term the Gen Zs use? Like, China's been going wild on with TP links, basically selling them below cost on Amazon so they get saturated into the American market. And they're like vulnerable and have backdoors and all this other stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. That was just like one of those stories that like blew up like a couple weeks ago. You can go Google it, but let's keep cracking.
Malware attacks, skimming bank data via NFC. Russian cybersecurity firm F6 has identified the first local attacks using SuperCard, a malicious variant of the NFC Gate app designed to steal payment card data via NFC. It was first seen in Italy, but SuperCard is now being marketed as a malware as a service by Chinese-speaking actors and sold on Telegram, and then harvests card data to enable fraudulent transactions. F6 reports 175,000 devices infected in Russia, with 5.5 million in damages in Q1 of this year. All
right, hold on. This is cool. So this is a attack that depends on NFC or near field communication, basically radio protocol. NFC, if you've ever like if you've ever had two iPhones kind of bump uglies, like, you know what I'm talking about, when you can push your contact card to someone, I'm almost positive that's NFC. I actually have like a business card. I gotta find it. I have a business card that's like made of metal that has an NFC antenna in it, and it'll push my contact information to you, so I don't have to give you a paper business card. So NFC's been around for a minute. If you've ever paid at the checkout counter by touching your credit card, NFC, okay? Brendan, how do you use this stream to earn CPE credits? All right, really quickly, do we have a Nightbot command for that? I feel like we should have a Nightbot command for that. Brendan, really quickly, and for everybody else, this show is worth half a CPE, one half of a CPE. Say what's up in chat, so your name's above, like Brendan's. Grab a screenshot, okay? Make sure that you include the title of the show where it says June 18th. Look on the screen right now. It says episode 901, half a CPE. Get all of that in the screenshot and file it away. Once a year, count up the screenshots you have and divide by 2, again, because it's a half a CPE, and then file with your certificate. I can't file it for you. You have to file with the certification body that holds your certificate that you got 30 CPEs from Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. And only if they audit you would you then provide the screenshots. Okay. All right. So Russia and China are doing this SuperCard attack using NFC. This is obviously quite popular for in the city, right? This is a socially engineered not socially engineered. This is a financially motivated crime. It seems like they're stealing bank credentials somehow. Let's see. How does it work, though? Attackers use social engineering techniques to trick victims into downloading SuperCard, disguising it as a legitimate app, and then once installed, the malware identifies which payment system they use, like Visa, MasterCard, and then it allows the criminals to exploit the data for fraudulent transactions. What does that have to do with NFC, though, for real? So hackers use compromised Android smartphones to relay data from victims' physical... Okay, Jesus Christ. This is like an unnecessarily complicated attack. I mean, obviously it's working, but here's the attack. And obviously there's a very easy way to kind of thwart this attack. A attacker has to convince somebody, a victim, to download a malicious lookalike app, okay? So number one, you got to get someone to download an app. Number two, the attacker then has to be close to the person physically to have their phone use NFC to transmit data to the attacker's phone. So then the attacker now has the information from the victim, and then the attacker can, it looks like, use that information to make fraudulent transactions or rip it to an ATM card and go to an ATM and clear your bank account out. First of all, getting someone to download malware is not trivial, but it happens all the time. But then you have to physically be within a couple feet of them. So now we're talking very, very targeted spear phishing attacks. Like, it just, to me, it's like the fact that you have to get them to install malware and then you have to stand next to them seems challenging compared to other attack techniques that are making mad money. Like, honestly, like, yeah, this works. Where is it? This works. But, you know, business email compromise, ransomware are going to make more money for you. The only reason I will point out, the only reason, and if you can, here, I'll give the crew a chance here. There is one massive benefit that I can see to this attack over business email compromise and ransomware. Even though BEC and ransomware are going to make you way more money, what do you think, chat? Why do you think that this would be a better time for an attacker? I'll give. Let me take a slug of a coffee. Let you guys drop your answers in chat. I don't normally do an interactive one, but like this one, it just dawned on me why this one is worth the trouble. I do love French roast. Come on now. This is no monster pour. Hey, see you later, Jenny Housley. All right, guys. Let's go. So some people are dropping in comments. Here is my thought on this one. When you do business email compromise, when you do ransomware, it's almost always cryptocurrency. When you do business email compromise, it is cash money, but you do have to like have a bank account set up. So there's a little bit of extra skin in the game. This particular one, if you can just walk up to an ATM and cash out, it's very low risk for the threat actor in getting caught. They can put on a mask and glasses and a hat and walk up to an ATM and boom, they're off and running. Now, I don't know how you get the PIN for the ATM, but they did say that ATMs are part of this attack. So I think getting quicker to fiat currency, like actual hard currency that you can actually spend on versus Bitcoin, which is I still don't know what you can spend Bitcoin on. So that's what's up. Phil Stafford wants a list of profitable attacks. Love it.
Fox APT targets Taiwan with complex ghost cringe and holding hands rat malware. Researchers at Fortinet warn of a phishing campaign by China-linked group Silver Fox APT targeting Taiwan with two ghost rat variants, ghost cringe and holding hands. Delivered via fake emails posted as government or business communications. The malware uses PDF and zip attachments to deploy shellcode through DLL sideloading, enabling remote access, data theft, and additional payload downloads. The attackers use sophisticated anti-VM and privilege escalation techniques, continuously refining their tools and methods across recent campaigns, including the earlier Winos 4.0 attacks.
Okay, so this is interesting. You guys know that I'm a bit of an infographic nerd. This infographic is frustrating to me because it's inverted. I don't know why they've done it this way, but like it goes from right to left. That is not, I mean, maybe I know in some cultures they write right to left. But what are we doing here? So this attack starts with the attacker on the far right and moves left, which is really jarring for me. Okay, I hate to be that guy, but like we have standards and protocols when it comes to visually communicating information, and if you're gonna just throw caution to the wind and do this, like who did this? All right. So the attacker sends a zip archive which holds all the goodies. Right? I don't even know why they have the arrows going from left to right. That doesn't make any sense, right? Everything about this pisses me off. I'm sorry. So they send the zip archive, and it's either got a link to a PDF, it has an HTML that links to a PDF, it has an HTML that links to an HTML, it just has an HTML, or sometimes if they're feeling particularly YOLO, they'll just embed the malware directly in the email. Good luck with that. Dude, anyone that uses any level of normal commercial grade email security gateway is going to have that stripped off. And oh, by the way, the email address you're sending from is going to get flagged as malicious. So if you're a threat actor out there, I would advise you, if you're playing the choose your adventure storybook game, do not choose the last option, or it's just going to say the end when you turn to the next page. Okay, so if you're in Taiwan, obviously, Taiwan has been hit or targeted by China for quite some time. China doesn't even recognize Taiwan as a real country. Phishing emails, which is like the number one initial attack vector, is coming in. Looks like there's an attack. Ooh, okay. Again, not a huge fan here. Oh, see, this one makes sense. Okay, this one makes sense. I bet you what happened here is somebody gave somebody gave a person this infographic and said, hey, I need you to make another infographic. And they saw the attacker on the far right, and they're like, sure, I can do that. This makes sense because now we're talking the payload's already been delivered, and the victim is now clicking, as you can see in the graphic, clicking on the executable. Come on, man. I guess it says executable because that's the executable of the archive program that's gonna not explode. What's it called? Unpack the archive. So there's some real files in there, like a reg file. They got some empty files in there. Let's see. It's gonna run this. Stands up a new server. A new process called task server. Some more side-loaded DLLs. And yep. And you can see at the bottom right here, do you see how this says legitimate executables in victim's computer? These executables running, and they're pointing at time broker MSIM32. This is what side channel or side loading DLLs look like. Side channel attacks is a totally different thing than side loading attacks. This is a side loading attack where basically the threat actor names these dynamic link libraries the same thing as existing DLLs inside of Windows operating system, and now the legitimate binaries are calling essentially the Trojanized versions. So these are Trojanized version DLLs because they're still going to run the way they're supposed to, or else you'd have a segmentation fault and everything would become obvious that there's a problem. So these will load and run, but then there's malicious stuff in there as well. Okay. Yep, multi-stage infection sequence. Sure. Let's see. It decrypts and executes the shellcode. DLL file sideload. Yep. And there you go. They do have anti-VM and privilege escalation to ensure the malware runs unimpeded, right? So anti-VM is basically malware that's a little bit more clever. That is anti-analysis. And then, it's, let's see. This message db.dat implements a C2 function for beaconing. All right, so a couple things here. If you're in Taiwan, obviously you have an elevated risk. Across the cyber kill chain, email security gateway, be mindful of all these things. End user awareness training, educate your end users on not click, be mindful of PDFs, obviously be mindful of documents pretending to come from government agencies. Check the sender. That doesn't always work because government agency email accounts can be compromised, so the malicious payloads can be sent from legitimate accounts. EDR solutions, endpoint detection and response, make sure you're running those and that they are checking attachments before they execute. If you're running something like Exchange Online Protection, they'll actually defang and detonate the attachments in a sandbox before they'll deliver it to your end users. So there's a lot of different capabilities. I've recently heard about a email gateway. It's not even a gateway, but an email security tool called Abnormal. I have friends who are using Abnormal AI in their environment, and they like it. It does a really great job of looking at some of the nuances of an email to determine if it's malicious or not. If you do get hit, obviously you should be looking for indicators of compromise like beaconing. You can use a tool like Read It for that. This msgdb.dat, while threat actors can rename that, it sounds like that's the C2 piece that you need to be mindful of. Additionally, they talk about sideloading these DLLs. So if you want, there's no guarantee of this. I would look into it if you're concerned about this. But typically, you're going to be overwriting these DLLs, so the file creation time and mod time could be changed to today, which would be a hell of an indicator of compromise. I will say that it is not impossible for threat actors to basically look at the existing legitimate DLL, get the timestamps on them, and then make the malicious DLLs have the same timestamps. So don't think when you write a new file to a computer system that it needs, like it'll automatically have created today. You can modify those values.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Adaptive Security, OpenAI's first cybersecurity investment. As deepfake scams and Gen AI phishing evolve, Adaptive equips security teams with AI-powered phishing simulations featuring realistic personalized deepfakes and engaging security awareness training. Their new AI content creator turns threat intel and policy updates into interactive, multilingual training instantly. Trusted by Fortune 500s and backed by Andreessen Horowitz and OpenAI, Adaptive helps you stay ahead of AI-driven threats. Learn more at adaptivesecurity.com.
All right. As I said in chat to everybody, I am in YouTube chat just the same as you guys. Again, I'm not just the president. I'm also a member of the Simply Cyber community. Hashtag Team SC. We're going to speed run the song, jump right to the end. So Alpha Sierra is our official Team SC drum major. So all right. Hey, shout out to all of you. Thank you, Barricade Cyber, Clean Me, Antisyphon. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I got to do the ad rolls here. I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, guys, really quickly, I do want to say shout out to the other sponsors for the stream, Antisyphon Training and Threat Locker. Antisyphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. You can get education live and on demand from professional-grade instructors. I want to call your attention to this. Chris Breton getting started with packet decoding. If you are interested in... Hold on one second. I want to find some value here. If you're interested in... Oh, hold on. This is not available on demand. I'm sorry. This is an in-person one. Let me look at this one. Is this a... All right, I think this one is going to be available online. So you can learn, for example, API testing. Guys, if you would like to learn more about API testing, I personally am not a offensive security person. I'm not a DevOps person. I'm not an AppSec engineer. But I really would like to enjoy learning. So if you're interested in learning API testing, this is a practical course, meaning you get your hands dirty for beginners. Guys, I'm going to link to this. This is July 8th. July 8th and 9th. July 8th and 9th, guys, knock it out, right? Clear your schedule, get it done. Thank you, Antisyphon Training. Love what you guys do. Hey, let me run the Threat Locker ad, and then we are going to do the la 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 la. So 30 seconds Threat Locker, then la 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 la's. Get your alphas here. We are on island time. Thank you, Real Bilbo. Threat Locker, and we'll be right back. Remember, all the links are in the description below. Click on them. It supports the channel. I want to give some love to the daily cyber threat brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, let's get our la la la's on. Also, really quickly, if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, so upstate New Jersey, I'm looking at you, like, you know, even as far south as New Brunswick. Maybe you're, what is it, like, is Trenton up there? You know, Newark, Piscataway, is that up there? If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, there is a Simply Cyber community meetup. Kayla Kavanaugh, the ambassador for that region, is setting something up 6/21 at Tun Tavern in AC, Atlantic City. But if you live there, you know it's called AC. 2 to 4 p.m. Come on down, get some. Let's get our la 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 la's on. Solid run, everybody. Let's finish strong. We're going to speed run the back half.
Pro-Israel hackers claim breach of Iranian bank amid military escalation. Predatory Sparrow, a group linked to Israeli military intelligence, claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on Iran's bank SEPA, allegedly in retaliation for the bank's role in funding Iran's military and nuclear programs. The attack disrupted banking services and may have also impacted gas stations and salary distributors. Iranian officials haven't confirmed the breach, but the bank was previously sanctioned by the U.S. back in 2007 for missile development support. Damn,
dude. All right, so, listen, this Iranian-Israel thing is fast-moving, right? Obviously, we're a cyber show. Like, we're not covering military or current geopolitical decisions. Around Israel, Iran. This is a wicked, fast-moving story. Personally, myself, just like the beginning of Russia-Ukraine conflict. Like, I personally am very interested in staying tuned on what's going on over there. It's really important for me to stay current on what's up. For all the people, I do a lot of business with Israel. I know a lot of people in our community from Israel. And I know some Iranians as well, right? It's not like, good and evil or whatever. So I hope this thing gets sorted out. But in classic military warfare conflict fashion, there's two sides, or at least two sides, and when one side does something that pisses off the other side, they retaliate. And this is why there was an arms race in the Cold War. So basically, Iran attacked, right? And Israel attacked Iran's banking system. When you think, really quickly, there's a reason that we talk about critical infrastructure. There's a reason it's called critical, right? Finance and economics are part of critical infrastructure. Agriculture is part of critical infrastructure. Water is part of critical infrastructure. We don't normally think about it, but like these are the things that you need to function as a large population general society, right? You yourself might have a bug out bag and you've got iodine tablets that you can drop in your water or whatever. That's what they do in DayZ, so I don't know. But like you can survive with your bug out bag. But when you're trying to serve hundreds of thousands of people as a population, you need infrastructure like water, like energy, like finance and economics. So it's part of the traditional playbook to attack banks. You're disrupting things. You're making life hard, not just for the citizens, but also for the government to be able to respond, for military capabilities to be effective. We've seen that Russia's attacked Ukraine's government and finance stuff and transportation. Ukraine has attacked Russia's. Israel is now attacking Iran. It's also interesting that pro-Iran groups have issued statements to Saudi Arabia and Jordan that says, hey, if you help Israel, we're going to attack you too. So I don't even know. I am by no means, I'm like literally by no means well informed on the nuances of relationships in the Middle East among the Middle Eastern countries among themselves. Or the greater broader scene, but just this is what it looks like, guys. And this, by the way, this is why, and the final thing, and I'll move on. This is why when we talk about the cyber capability used in a military conflict in a modern time, it is not a cyber Pearl Harbor event where it's all cyber and only cyber, and you can just go ahead and plant your rifle in the ground and use it as a flower pot because we don't need those anymore. No, traditional military capabilities, soldiers, heavy munitions, armor, like tanks and stuff, that's all part of the playbook. Cyber is just another capability that enables you to dominate the battlefield. Air, ground, sea, cyber. That's it. You wouldn't get rid of all the other ones just because you have a new one. That's dumb. And honestly, I'd like to point the finger at myself. Do I have Anton? I don't. I'll point the finger at myself. You are so dumb, Jerry. So dumb. Like, I used to be firmly in the camp that the capabilities were escalating, and basically that cyber Pearl Harbor would be what would happen in the next major geopolitical conflict. Because why wouldn't it? You don't need to put your soldiers and your citizens at risk. But in reality, it's way more effective to, basically drop munitions and destroy targets. In addition to doing, because honestly, guys, here's the thing. It's easier to fly over and drop a payload than it is to burn 7-0 days with Stuxnet. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Microsoft fixes Surface Hub boot issues with emergency updates. Microsoft released an out-of-ban update to fix a secure boot violation error that was preventing Surface Hub version 1 devices running Windows 10 22H2 from starting after installing the June security update. The issue doesn't affect Surface Hub 2S or 3. Microsoft had paused the problematic update on June 11th and advised users that the emergency fix would prevent further failures. The original update was meant to fix Hyper-V issues, but triggered broader compatibility problems.
Man,
UK ICO finds...
I didn't even know what Microsoft Surface Hub was, so I had to Google it. My heart goes out. I literally, listen, I know, Kevin, there's a Kevin somewhere. This is like a straw man. I don't really know a Kevin. But there's a Kevin somewhere. There's a real Bilbo somewhere. Real Bilbo's on a beach, but there's a real Bilbo somewhere who's having to deal with this. apparently Microsoft Surface Hub is a smart whiteboard that runs Windows 10. So this is not an endpoint in the traditional sense. This is a whiteboard that is in a conference room somewhere. And if you're running Surface Hub 1 and you pushed patches to it, you have bricked it in some capacity. And troubleshooting that is going to be frustrating, and you're not going to know it until some executive or some team, actually probably an executive. I feel like team leads would go try to use it. They just get frustrated and they'd be like, F it, like, let's just do it without it. But like an executive is going to be like, why isn't this thing work? Get Kevin down here right now. Get Kevin down here right now. I don't know if you can hear me hitting the table. Get Kevin down here. Right? So then some IT person, you know, Jane in IT is going to come down, field engineer. They're going to reboot it a few times. They're going to be frustrated. Did anyone ask for a Windows 10 smartboard? Like, why? I feel like Jeff Goldblum Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. Like, they got so excited that they could stick Windows 10 on a whiteboard. Did they ever stop to ask if they should?
23andMe for data protection failings. The UK's Information Commissioner's Office has fined 23andMe 2.3 million British pounds for failing to protect sensitive genetic data during a 2023 credential stuffing attack. Attackers accessed data on 7 million people, including 155,592 UK and 320,000 Canadian residents, via reused passwords, exploiting weaknesses in 23andMe's authentication, monitoring, and incident response. The company, which is in U.S. bankruptcy proceedings, previously blamed user error. The fine follows 23andMe's pending sale to a nonprofit tied to its co-founder, Anne Wojcicki, which has pledged to uphold existing privacy commitments.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, 23andMe fined for Data Protection Act. Dude, this sucks. Companies in bankruptcy and they're getting a 2.3 million pound fine. Ugh, talk about taking it. Straight, no chaser. Yeah, so, gosh, man. I mean, here's the thing. I'm actually, like, they're being fined for not putting multi-factor authentication and requiring it as mandatory. You will not meet a bigger champion for MFA. You will not meet a bigger critic who will judge a business for not deploying MFA and requiring it. However, based on risk, okay, right? So, like, I don't run MFA on certain things. And it's oh my God, excuse me. It's a risk-based decision, okay? However, I have to pause here. Guys, Mark Tape, I don't know if I agree with this. MFA was available, and consumers of the product could implement it and configure it. They were not required to. They did have usernames and passwords. I don't know if you can fine this doesn't seem right to fine a company for not requiring their end users to have MFA. I believe that you should require them to have MFA, but I don't think, is there any like regulation or law? I mean, it's Canada, right? Oh, the UK. Roswell, UK. Who else is a UK person? There's a couple other UK folks in here. Like, to me, this seems like an overreach, right? So, like, I'm trying to think of like a parallel for this one. So, let's do this. Like, let's pretend that you download an app, like the Amazon app, right? Like, a lot of people. I bet you more than, if I polled the community right now, 90% of you would have the Amazon app installed on your phone right now, right? Let me check my calendar because I'm like running late today. I'm good. 90% of us would have the Amazon app. Now imagine for a second the Amazon app had a flaw in it that allowed exploitation and your data to get out, okay? Now imagine that the UK fines Amazon $2 million because they didn't do thorough enough software application security testing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel appropriate. And again, I'm all about MFA. Like, I will literally be the first guy in line to configure MFA, but just to me, this seems like an overreach. Anyways, obviously the sensitivity of this data, 23andMe, they're in the news. The guy who co-founded it's trying to buy it back under a nonprofit. I don't know exactly what the hell he's trying to do. TLDR, we'll keep seeing what's going on, but this stinks. Like, can you imagine buying a company that already has a $2.3 million debt or fine attached to it? No thanks. So Cam Godot says mandatory seatbelts. Yeah, like, dude, here's the thing. I'm fine. Mandatory seatbelts. Listen, if you get pulled over, at least in the state of South Carolina, you can get written a ticket for not having your seatbelt on. You can get written a ticket for being on your cell phone while you're driving in some states. I'm okay with that because there's a law on the books that says this isn't legal. I don't know of a law in the UK that says you must require MFA to be mandatory for your end users. If they have that law, yeah, fine everybody. You get a fine, you get a fine, you get a fine.
Straight cash, homie.
But if it's not a law, it just seems like a bit of an overreach of some committee to slap a fine. Again, by the way, if you didn't know, 23andMe blamed their customers for this data breach, which was such a bad move. Don't ever do that.
Hacker steals 1 million cock.ly user records
All right, everybody calm down.
in webmail data breach. Privacy-focused email provider cock.ly confirmed a data breach affecting more than 1 million user accounts after attacks exploited an old SQL injection flaw in its now retired Roundcube webmail platform. Exposed data includes email addresses, login timestamps, failed login accounts, and some users' contact info, but no passwords, IPs, or email content themselves. Cock.ly has permanently removed Roundcube, acknowledging poor security practices contributing to the breach. Users are advised to reset passwords and switch to IMAP or SMTP clients.
All right, TLDR, if you're running cock.ly as your free email hosting provider, this is Germany. I think we actually had, where's the worldwide? I think we actually had a Germany person. Yeah, Germany was in chat. So, hey, friends, if you are using cock.ly, I'm sure this has to do with the rooster. Also, the TLDR, the TLD, the top level domain of .li. I don't know what that is. Is that Lithuania? Let me know. But listen, if you're running this one, even though it's privacy focused, it exposed all users who had logged in since 2016. So guess what? Privacy focused email provider has exposed all your information. You could say that cock.ly has been fully exposed. So be on the lookout. And just be mindful, guys. Anything that you do online, you're inherently accepting some level of residual risk. They did talk about making sure that the protocols you're interfacing with on the again, the risk here sounds like it's your data is exposed, but also if you're logging directly into the web, it's a little bit better. But if you're using a email client, make sure that you're using. It's been a minute. There's like there's SMTP, POP3, and IMAP. I'm pretty sure IMAP is the one that brings down cached copies to your own local device, and POP3 just queries it. So it depends on what you want to do. Yeah, Marcus Kyler says IMAP and SMTP are legacy and aren't compatible with MFA. Why is that a recommendation? 100%. 100%. So, I don't know. It sounds like bad advice, but obviously you want to make sure that your connections. Here's the thing: you got to remember. Finally, like You got to remember data at rest and data in transit. So if you're just interfacing with the machine and the data is encrypted in transit, that's great. But if it's not encrypted on the server or on your endpoint, there is a exposure potential there, especially on the server where other people can interface with it. So watch out. If you used Roundcube, that also is kind of in the mix as like a hot mess express.
Google warns of scattered spider attacks targeting IT support teams.
We're almost done with
at
the
US
show. Thanks for
insurance
bearing with me and
firms.
going over.
Google's Threat Intelligence Group says the cybercrime gang, Scattered Spider, is now actively targeting IT support teams at major U.S. insurance firms. Known for social engineering tactics, the group impersonates employees, bypasses MFA, and exploits help desks, while often gaining broad access via MSPs and contractors. Google and Mandiant warn the group is likely seeking high-value enterprise targets. Experts recommend tightening identity controls, restricting access, and training support staff to verify identities before account changes. Experts recommend tightening identity controls, restricting access, and training support staff to verify identities before account changes. Remember to
All right, so we got a little infographic here of Scattered Spider's cyber kill chain. Scattered Spider, they are the ones who are responsible for MGM Resorts attack a couple, like 2 summers ago, I think it was. They are legit. They are aggressive. I think they're young, and they're effective. So basically, what they do is they will do phishing campaigns. They'll actually call help desks, which is where I want to focus my guidance here. They'll get credentials. They'll either pretend to be Marcus Kyler and get Marcus Kyler's creds reset. Then they'll log in. They'll change the multi-factor authentication to their own email or their own phone number. Now Marcus Kyler's locked out. They'll then leverage that account to do malicious stuff. Either start emailing people from Marcus Kyler's account and get initial infection on other people in the organization, exploit that until they can get privilege escalation. They'll install remote access software. It runs the gambit, like Screen Connect, AnyDesk, Rust Desk, TeamViewer, whatever it works that they can. They'll dump creds with Mimikatz, password vaults if they can dump those. Essentially, they get all the stuff, and then they just keep going. This Scattered Spider is scary because they execute what I would consider a very traditional cyber kill chain, and they do it well, and they do it aggressively. And if they get into your environment, they're like, I almost feel like they're not effing around, right? They've got initiative, they've got motivation. They get in and they burrow, and then they get what they want, and then they execute. They'll do data theft, right? They'll move things to Megasync, Dropbox, whatever. They will, they'll disable security tools. They'll stop shadow copy, volume shadow copy. They will deploy ransomware. It's been seen that they'll deploy Alfie ransomware. Ransom Hub is also involved with them. These guys are nasty business. Now, the TLDR here is, obviously you want to protect from all the things, but if you're looking for something to do, like we don't already have enough work, but if you're looking for something to do as an initiative for June, I know June's almost over, or maybe you want to get ham for the month of July. Hey, 4th of July, everybody. We're celebrating 4th of July by reviewing help desk protocol, right? I mean, make it a thing. Literally, the help desk, in my opinion, the help desk is like the most soft target that Scattered Spider will go after. Work through what it looks like to reset credentials. Work through what it looks like to configure MFA. What type of verification needs to happen. Maybe you set up not privileged, but like certain accounts, right? Like IT accounts, VIP accounts, they get flagged for additional levels of scrutiny or validation. You have to go wide with this one. I'm telling you right now, they are attacking insurance companies in the United States. So if that's you have an elevated threat And this is why you need to stay current daily, is because, like, literally, if you work in US and you work for an insurance company or a managed service provider who serves an insurance company, then yeah, you could be talking to Scattered Spider. Again, here's my thing. Take the ability to freestyle out of the hands of support desk. I'm not saying, handicap them or nerf them, but make it so if they have to say to someone on the phone, I'm sorry, I can't help you until you provide this information. And the person on the phone is like, do you know who I am? I will ruin you. Like, empower the help desk to not have to crumble under the pressure of somebody flipping out on the phone. This is why you got to review those protocols, because you know what? It only takes one to get through and F up your whole day. Go look at MGM Resorts. Go look at Caesars. There's a reason DEF CON is not held at Caesars properties anymore. I mean, there's a couple reasons, but that's one of them. All right, let's keep cooking here. And by the way, again, thank you everybody for allowing me to go a little long. We're 15 minutes over. We don't typically go over, but I lost my mind on a couple stories. I don't even remember. I was like blacked out for it. All righty, yo. Guys, I want to say thank you to the stream sponsors, to all of you, #TeamSC. This has been episode 901 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Feel free, OBS, to not chunk on me. I hope you had a great show. If you got to get out of here, I appreciate you staying a little longer. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because it's Wednesday, which means we're going to be doing some jaw-jacking with Jerry Guy. Jerry Guy always bringing the heat for you. If you got to go, go. Be well. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Jawjacking. I am your host, Jerry Guy. If you're new here, like Charlie or TIA, if you're still here, holler at me. This is a different show. We segment it. Hold on, I want to see if TIA is still here. Yes. This is a different show. This is Jawjacking. I cannot mentor one-on-one. I get like DMs all the time. I wish I could respond to all of them. I cannot. It's not because I don't like you. It's not because I think I'm too cool for school. It's literally because I get overwhelmed, okay? So the solution is a dedicated time slot for mentorship. This is Jawjacking, which, by the way, we appropriated from some troll on YouTube. Thanks for naming the show. Haha, joke's on you. I am Jerry Guy, which is just like a fun way of having a different personality for the show. Many of you know that I'm the same person as Dr. Gerald Auger, but Jerry Guy does like to make fun of that nerd. Say it with me if you would. Simply Cyber community, that nerd. So, we've got Moody. No, Batman, I expect you to answer questions. We've got some fun jawjacking. So if you got any questions, put it in chat. Put a Q in the front. I will do everything in my power to answer as many questions as I can. Looking at my calendar, I do have a stop at 10 a.m. Since I ran late, I will go to 10 a.m. if people are cool with that. And let's cook. Here we go. Let's see. All right, Augusta Delgado knows that nerd. Luke J is here. Hey, Luke J, let me know. Are you going to Wild West Hackin' Fest? It'd be awesome to high five you. Is it more humid in the low country or Mass right now? Michael Fink, I live, like right now, my in-laws live on top of a mountain. So like there's like literally clouds below us, which is wild. But yeah, no, it's way more humid in the low country. Are you kidding me? Dude, living in the South is like walking through hot soup. But I'm okay with that. Sierra Montgomery, I got to connect with you again. Cyber Risk Witch, great to see you as always in chat. Let's go. Jawjack and Sweet, the nerd. There we go. Tech Grunt knows the nerd. Mara Levy knows hashtag the nerd. Mara Levy made a nerd sticker. It's on my laptop. Thank you, Blood, Sweat, and Rage. I love serving this community. It fills my cups. All right. Yes, Justin Gold, if you can drop questions in chat, that would be awesome. Do you enter autopilot with your brain and not know what you're saying? Angular says. No, I mean, yeah, I guess I do. I mean, here's the thing. Like, me personally, Angular and Team SC, me personally, I kind of live by this ethos of, like, being honest and just being genuine and kind of, like, not really guarding a lot. So when I'm responding, I'm pulling from, like, my inner vibe, my inner monologue and stuff like that, which is why I don't know where it's going to go, because I'm just being, like, authentic to myself on how I feel about these things. Plus, like, one of the interesting things, I don't know why, but, like, I almost have, like, my inner monologue, there's, like, a main track of my inner monologue, but there's like a couple other, like, voices or thoughts that occur. So, like, when I come up with these weird metaphors, I'll just be talking and all of a sudden it's like, hey, that's just like this. And whether it's a good metaphor or not, it just sticks in my brain. So yeah, I do not know what I'm going to say. If you watch me read scripted content, you can tell when I'm reading scripted content, because it does not sound the same way that it is when I'm just speaking the way I normally speak. And if you've met me in person, I guess I'll defer to you. Mara Levy's met me, many of you have met me in person. If you've met me in person, I feel like the way I am on camera is exactly who I am on stream, or excuse me, in real life. Question from Conito. Hold on one second. Question from Conito. Hold on, I'm seeing a bunch of questions I'm now flagging. Oh, wow, you guys got great questions. Okay, here we go. Question from Conito. Is phishing-resistant MFA the gold standard? Expand, please. I don't know if there's necessarily a gold standard, Conito. When I think phishing-resistant MFA, I mean, I don't even really know how to position that. I mean, you can do adversarial in the middle attacks using a phishing email to send them to a fake website that looks alike. I mean, this is how the social engineering toolkit works. What I would say is, for me, I actually think a really nice balance is what Microsoft has done. When you log into a Microsoft 365 environment, they'll actually give you a code on the screen, and then you need to actively go into your app and then choose the number out of 3 different numbers. This prevents a threat actor from sending you a text message and telling you to have them read it. It prevents a threat actor from hammering the login portal and forcing text messages to show up and kind of denial of service attacking your phone. So these are what I would consider more of a gold standard MFA. Hardware tokens are really effective MFA tokens, but they're very difficult to deploy at scale. People lose the hardware token. The hardware tokens cost money. So like for example, those RSA tokens are like $20 a rip. Oh, okay, that's not a big deal. I can buy a $20 token. Well, now let's say you have 1,000 employees. You're going to drop $20,000 on hardware tokens, and then all of a sudden, 1% of your workforce regularly loses them. Now you're asking the CFO for cash, and that's not a good thing, especially when everyone can download the app for free. So it is what it is. Next question. How would you say the job market is in cyber right now? It seems real difficult to get an interview. Olivier is saying, yeah, I think the job market is not good right now on the open market. On the closed market, so here's my 2 thoughts on the job market. Number 1, the open market is not good. The closed market is better. I also think there's a lot of jobs for mid and senior level practitioners. I don't think there's as many jobs. Well, There's jobs for junior level practitioners. There's just more people in the pool trying to get those jobs. Now let me back up and say, what is closed market? I know, like, what the hell are you talking about, Jerry? So closed market is jobs that crop up from relationships, jobs that crop up from opportunities that you find out about. I know for a fact people who are interviewing for jobs right now, I'm not going to name any names, but I know somebody who's like literally interviewing for a job right now, and this person is likely to be offered the job, and they found out about it because somebody said their name in a room when they were not in the room. Somebody had a job and they're like, Jesus, I really need this thing filled, or I'm having this struggle. And another person in the room said, oh, I know someone who would be perfect for that. This person. So that CISO contacted this person and said, hey, a friend of mine that we have in a mutual relationship with said that you might be interested. What do you think? Boom. That is the closed market. I literally have another situation. Okay, this isn't exactly one-to-one for you, but I have another situation where somebody said, again, I hate to be so vague, but I don't want to dox anyone. Somebody said, hey, I'm thinking about starting this business, but I would need this help. And the person said, hey, have you considered talking to this person? And they said, no. And they said, yeah, let me broker an introduction. And now those people are working together. Okay, so that's the closed market. The way you get into that is by community, speaking at events, building relationships. It's not a transactional thing. You don't just go to one conference and get 10 jobs on the closed market. You don't just speak at one conference and get 10 jobs. You don't just make one GitHub repo and get 10 jobs. It's building relationships, putting yourself out there. And I'm sorry it's not easy, but the open market right now in cyber is not great. As Luke Canfield put it, it's cooked. All right, here we go. Keith Sloan says, what? Hey, and I'm going to start a poll right now. I'm going to start a poll. Please vote on this. Oh my God. Here's the poll question. Would you like me to go quicker on replies, like 60 seconds, and answer more Q or deeper answers? Short answer, more Q. Long answer, fewer Q. Let me know, because I do want to, like, the whole thing I'm doing, like, this is for you guys. I serve this community. Just let me know. I think that I should be going shorter on my responses, but I actually want to measure. I want to poll you guys. You tell me what you want. All right, Keith Sloan says, what's up, Jerry? What's up, Keith? Been hanging out with John Strand these last few days. Good person to be hanging out with. My dude is a great instructor. He is great. Any classes besides the pay ones that you can recommend? So, all right, it depends what you want to do, Keith Sloan. What I would say is, so John Strand has 3 courses that he teaches at Antisyphon. Getting started in InfoSec with Black Hills, SOC core skills, and active defense cyber deception. Even if you already work in industry, if you have time, all 3 of them are great. John Strand is great. You learn more than just getting started in InfoSec, okay? Like, there's tons of value. Plus, Keith Sloan will tell you, I'm sure, the networking and relationship building in the student core cohort for these classes is great. Thank you, Computer Cyber K Dubs. So those are the 3. I would also recommend, so I've taken Wade Wells's course. Hayden Covington, I think, so he doesn't know I'm about to say this, but like Hayden Covington, he's young. I think he's like in his mid-20s. He is young. That dude is a special talent, okay? Hayden Covington does a Detection Engineering 101 course. I haven't taken it. I think I'm actually registered. I paid to take it in July. It's like, I forgot, but yeah, I think it's July 18th. I'm going to take it. So I think that dude's a special talent and worth learning from. Again, I am not going to stand up an MSP, but I want to learn from Hayden Covington. Also, you know, I teach a live 4-day webinar called PBCC. I think Keith Sloan would be a good one to learn from. All right, let's keep cooking here. Shout out to Justin Gold for filling the queue up with questions. James Harold says, I have been at the same job for 20 years, so now can I avoid being scammed on LinkedIn? Oh, how can I avoid being scammed on LinkedIn? You know, James Harold, whether you've been at work for 20 years or you've been there for 6 months, dude, the attack vector is the same on LinkedIn. I will say that fake jobs, recruiters, promising opportunities, trying to take you off the LinkedIn platform are all indicators. I will say, and this is not sexist or misogynist, we are seeing an uptick in activity on like beautiful women looking profiles that will try to engage you and then move into more of a romance scam type vibe. Honestly, James, it's just awareness, man. Like, you just got to have your shields up and be wary of it. It's an individual one-time thing. All right, here we go. Charlie Montoya. Thanks, Jerry. I started watching SC over a year ago. Got the A+, Net+, Sec+. Applying to entry-level blue team jobs. Got zero traction, so started pursuing help desk roles to build experience. That'll work, Charlie Montoya. And when you get on the help desk, dude, immediately start adding value and try, if you want to get in InfoSec, it sounds like you do, start engaging with the InfoSec team. Ask if you can shadow their meeting. Hey, can I come as a listen-only attendee to your information security team meetings? I just want to learn more. I feel like no one's going to say no. Like, you work there, and all you want to do is listen only. It's very low stakes for the information security office, and it shows initiative. I think that's a great way to do it. Faced Oil says, I found SC on David Bomble's channel. Who has been your favorite collab to date? Well, I don't want to say favorite because that would indicate like there's others that I don't like. Let me see. Who have I enjoyed? Like, I'll just name some that I have really enjoyed collaborating with. You know who I really enjoyed collaborating with? Jessica Hyde. Jessica Hyde is a differ expert, and she's been on my channel a couple times, and our live streams are amazing. She gives so much value. It's incredible. Another great collab, Insider PhD, Katie. She's British, which is just a qualifier. It's not like that's good or bad. She is awesome. She's delivered a ton of value. If you go on my channel and you search Simply Cyber YouTube channel and you search for Jessica Hyde, DFIR, you'll get her videos. Insider PhD is great. Another amazing collab. I've done collaborations with Joe Hudson. Joe Hudson is a treasure for our community, and he's delivered so much value. I've done collabs with Matt Kiley. Matt Kiley, that guy is a special talent. He can pretty much do everything and anything. John Hammond has been really nice. That guy's amazing. You know, like, I'll leave this. A final collab I did when I was at Zero Trust World. I did the daily cyber threat brief like 3 days a row on site. Real Bilbo, Josh Mason, Marcus Kyler was there. I'm forgetting somebody, which frustrates me. FedEx was there. Guys, that was a fun collab. And just so you know, I got my tickets for Wild West I booked my flight for Wild West Hackin' Fest yesterday. And we are doing the show, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, live from Wild West Hackin' Fest. So if you want to come be part of the show, super excited about that. I'm going to look at the poll right now. I'm ending the poll. How many people voted? 88 votes. 73% like long answers. Okay, I will continue to give long answers. Thank you for voting. Cyber Risk Witch, do you think you can spend too long in one role or company? Do you advocate changing jobs? So, okay, so this is an interesting question. I believe, so here's my thing. It really depends on what you want to get out of a career, Cyber Risk Witch. But for me, you don't have to switch companies every couple years, but I do think you need to switch roles every couple years. You need to keep growing. You need to keep adding value to yourself. You need to be the CEO of you. If money is important to you, you do need to switch companies in order to get paid faster, right?
Straight cash, homie.
If you are more interested in professional development, stay at your current company and take on as much roles and responsibilities as you can. Here's my thing. You should be getting you should be mining as much value out of your current company and role as you possibly can. Case in point, I was at MUSC. I went from, middle risk analyst or whatever to cybersecurity architect and unofficial deputy CISO. All right. That was huge value. I was at MUSC at the same time. I got them to pay for my PhD. So I got a PhD and paid $0 for it. Okay. I went to conferences and paid $0 for it. That's me squeezing and wringing out the ShamWow of value from my employer. If you're just at your company, doing the same thing every day and not leveling up, not developing, not getting some additional value besides your normal day-to-day work, then I think you might want to consider promotion or another job. If you're absolutely happy and you're not interested in growing, then stay where you are. But those are my thoughts on that. I mean, if you look at my career, I worked at Bearing Point for a number of years, and I moved around in Bearing Point for more money, more opportunity. I moved from a software developer to an InfoSec person at Bearing Point. I worked at Booz Allen for a number of years. The only time I've ever worked short time at a job is where the job sucked or the culture was toxic. I worked for 3 months at a financial services company in Boston, Mass, and I literally wanted to not literally, that would be untrue, but I'll put it this way. It was so bad that Mrs. Auger was living with me at the time, but we were not married. Oh my God, the sins. But she literally told me, she's like, you have to quit this job. It's destroying you. It's destroying our relationship. Everything about this job sucks. And I was there 3 months, and I felt like I was there 10 years. And people who, there's a couple people who are in the Simply Cyber community who worked at that company that know exactly what I'm talking about. And they worked there for a long, long time. So they didn't have the same experiences as me. But so, that's my answer to that, Cyber Risk Witch. Divine Dream Divine, who I call Triple D. What inspires you every day to do Simply Cyber? Honestly, Triple D, I love cybersecurity. Here's my thing. You want to talk about somebody who has hit gold, professionally speaking? I love cybersecurity. I love everything about it. I love talking about it. I love educating. I love learning. I love reading. I love living cybersecurity. I love cybersecurity. Everything about it. I also love educating. I love helping. I love service. I love people getting better and me being part of that experience for them. I love people who want to grow, people who want to learn, people who are interested. For me, Simply Cyber takes all the things I love professionally and merges them into one thing that I get to do every day. So honestly, Triple D, I mean, I guess you inspire me, right? If I came to work and the Simply Cyber community was like, "You suck, Jerry," right? I'd be like, I don't want to do this. This is no good, right? But it's not. It's the complete opposite. We celebrate people's wins like Charlie Montoya. We watch people grow like Lazaro Rivera. I get to go to conferences and high five people. I see, Study GRC has grown. Space Tacos and the GRC Audit Trove has grown. Slay Security Plus has grown. Simply Cyber Community, the conference, it's amazing. I don't even know what's going to happen next. Is there a strategy for working as an intern part-time in the field you're trying to break into while working a full-time job, Terrence Tech? I mean, the strategy, I'll just make this a quick, plain answer. If you get an internship, you should listen, Terrence Tech and you, okay? I'm talking to you right now. Think about how you behave at a job interview. you prepare for it, you show up early, you practice maybe some of the questions you're going to think you're going to get, you're on your best behavior, you're engaged, right? Think of an internship as a long-form job interview. Be yourself, but be engaged, be proactive. Treat it seriously. That's what an internship is. An internship isn't a job where you get to learn. An internship is an extended job interview. I built an internship program from scratch, and I hired several interns as full-time employees. The ones who showed promise, the ones who did not show promise, the ones who were kind of riding it as a whatever. You know what? The internship ended, and I wished him well, but I wasn't going to hire him. Trey Black says, I want to create a personal website for projects or blogs. Where do I start? Okay. Trey Black, what I would say is you can do it a couple different ways. You can go to, I think the number one way I would recommend, you can do it a couple ways, okay? Number one, you can use Medium as a blog platform. Number two, if you want to pay, you can get a website and host stuff on that. What I would say is, oh my God, do I have this here? Hold on one second. DJ Bisek has used a GitHub repo as a personal blog, and I think it's awesome. Here, let me pull it up really quickly, because it's not trivial how to set it up, but once you get set up, it's awesome. Here, look at this. This is DJ Bisek. Poor little lout. I haven't seen this guy in a minute. I wished him a happy Father's Day. He responded immediately. So he's around, but he's like on the executive track right now, so he's kind of busy. But look at this, Cyber News Blog. These are blog posts, okay? And he was doing this when we were going to replace the CISO Series Daily Cyber Threat Brief. But you can do this, okay? This could be your blog. Now, how do you do this? Give me a second. I really think I have a link to this. Yep, right here. Check this out. Good thing I have a second brain that allows me to pull up things quickly. I'll drop a link to this. This right here allows you to convert a GitHub repo into a blog. So, Trey Black, this is what I would do. I'm going to drop a link in chat for everybody. GitHub to blog, okay? If I was advising my son, this is what I would do. Everybody knows what GitHub is. It's free, too. All right, here we go. Jerry, Space Tacos, Team Sippy Cup. Let me take a slug. Pour a little out for Space Tacos. Gross, my coffee's like room temperature. Space Taco says, Jerry, what would you say to someone who's thinking about public speaking but feel they don't have anything new or unique to share? Space Tacos. What I would say to that person is two things. One, I have a video. I have a video for that. Number one. Oh, hold on. Number one. So if you're thinking of public speaking and think you have nothing to offer, number one, here is how you shape your thoughts. So here's a video how to shape your thoughts and submit your talk. But two, listen to this. I used to deal with this myself. Like, okay, so this isn't me like patting myself on the back, but like I was very, very honored and privileged to give the keynote at Wild West Hackin' Fest last year. Most people forget that I gave the opening keynote because Wade Wells slayed the closing keynote, and I'm just like in this massive shadow that he cast. But I gave the keynote at Wild West Hackin' Fest to open it, and I was like the same thing, Space Tacos. I'm like, I am talking to 800 to 1,000 people who work in industry. How can I possibly add value to these people? They already know everything. Here's the reality, Space Tacos. Number one, whatever you're going to say, there's a chance that a part of the population doesn't know what you're talking about, and they're going to get value. Number two, and this is the one that you probably, most people don't think of, is like whatever you're talking about, you're bringing your perspective, your experiences, your angle on that topic, which is going to be different than the perspective that the individuals in the audience have. So what you're actually doing is they may know about SIMs or how to implement detection engineering or how to level up or how to find closed market jobs, whatever it is, but they may not have seen it from your angle, your perspective, your dimension, and you are going to bolster out and beef out their worldview on that topic. So you are delivering value. And if it's imposter syndrome, do me a favor, Space Tacos. Set your knuckles to stun and punch imposter syndrome in the throat. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right? So, hey, and you know what? Just lean into it. Worst case scenario, think about stand-up comedians. Every stand-up comedian, I don't care if it's Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Eddie Murphy, every comedian ever has stood in front of an audience and bombed. And you know what? They became Kevin Hart. They became Dave Chappelle. They became, John Mulaney or whatever. Okay? So let me just finish this by saying one thing. Just to be real, okay? So yeah, I've spoken at conferences to thousands of people. Yay! Okay, can I tell you I worked on public speaking. Let me tell you a true story that may shock you. One of the very first times I ever gave a talk, announced it, promoted it, and all these things, one person showed up. One person showed up. We're actually friends to this day. I actually go on a trip with 10 dudes every year, and he's one of the guys. One person showed up, and that's where I met him. And you know what, Space Tacos and Team SC? I gave that talk like there was a crowd of 30 people there, which is funny because I was panning the crowd with my visibility. His name was Adrian. He sat in the back row, and I'm like, you could, there's plenty of seats if you want to sit up front. He's like, nah, I'm good back here. I'm like, okay. So he sat in the back row. I gave an hour talk, maybe 45-minute talk. He sat there, engaged, took notes. I did ask at the end. I'm like, all right, does anyone have any questions? So I treated it like it was a group thing, but there was one person in the audience, and I still delivered, okay? So that's what's up. We got 16 minutes left. Is it hard to go to the job pen testing without a net plus A plus and take CPTs and I don't understand your question, but I think you're saying is it hard to get a job in pen testing without net plus A plus? Okay, I don't understand this question, but here's what I think. The question's about jobs and pen testing. I don't think a net plus and A plus will help you get a job. Security plus will help you get past HR. It will not. It won't. Everybody's got sec. Not everybody, but a lot of people have sec plus. So if you don't have it, it already hurts you. If you do have it, you're just got to the next round of a bunch of people. Hack the box accomplishments is good. Not going to get you the job, but it's more about getting you the skills. And then OSCP can get you a job. Okay, OSCP can get you a job. Ryusek, who's one of my PBCC students, got approved for a state appointment, realized during the process that the site has some serious privacy issues, want to report, especially since my data's in there, but concerned with backlash. Yeah, you might be able to disclose anonymously. Ryusek, I mean, if you're concerned that much, I would try to disclose anonymously. There must be whistleblower hotlines out there. Rhonda Rummerfield says, with everything you've experienced over 20 years in the industry, is there a piece of feedback or lesson that stuck with you, something that still influences how you show up today? Yeah, thanks, Rhonda. Rhonda and I have met each other in person. Great community member. Rhonda's been around in the community for a very long time. One piece of advice, I guess I would say, I used to try to... Two things. One, everybody doesn't know everything, okay? So, like, if you look at me, for example, just to pick someone, if you look at me and you're like, oh, man, Jerry, all this experience, all these degrees, all this certs, oh, my God, like, I don't know everything. I don't know, like, dude, you stick me in front of a Google Cloud environment. I can't hack my way through a login page, okay? So in the industry, people have skills, they have developed skills, they're good at things, they're bad at things. So when you're talking to people, just know that they're not perfect and they've got tons of gaps in their skill sets, but just like you have gaps in your skill set. So approaching it with an open mind and good faith and good intentions definitely goes a long way towards relationship building. I used to think I had to know everything to be able to deliver value, and it's not true. The second thing I would say, that this is something that I just, you still see this in some cases. I used to think I had to be technically supercharged to be good. And there's so much, like, and again, not this community, there's people in this community that dunk on me for not being super technical. I want to remind people that I have a bachelor's and a master's in computer science, and I was an engineer for a long time. So I used to think technical was how you demonstrated competency. And one thing that I've learned over the years, and we've said it on the channel from time to time, and please listen to me if you think that being super technical is the way. Being able to communicate and having empathy is just as valuable. Being able to communicate, and just because you can speak English doesn't mean you can communicate, okay? It's a skill. Having empathy is a skill. Those two things paired together are just as valuable as technical chops, okay? Believe me when I tell you this. No one wants to work with an a-hole. I don't care how great you are, okay? Putting yourself in someone else's position, understanding their perspective, understanding what matters to them, what is their frictions, it goes a long way. Understanding an end user's struggles, understanding an executive's decision to not fund your thing, understanding a speaker feeling nervous about public speaking, understanding what motivates people. It's so valuable that it's not about a sick Python script. Yes, those are cool. But communication and empathy is wicked valuable, and it took me a number of years to understand that. Again, I used to think that like I was just a BA because I could do, things technically. Kenneth Lowy says, how enjoyable is working for the Citadel? I like working for the Citadel. For those who don't know, if you're new here, I am a adjunct faculty at the Citadel Military College, and I love educating. I love teaching. I will say, there is a little bit of a frustration. I'm dealing with 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. You're required to take my class. So some people are in there not because they want to be. And I actually just get it out of the way in the first lecture. I'm like, all right, here's the deal, what we're doing. Who's here because they have to be, not because they want to be? You, and you. All right, guys, I'm going to work with you. You're gonna learn, and I'm going to try to get you. I'm going to try to enable you to get the A you want. And for those who wants to be here, you, and you, I will go further and beyond the curriculum for you. So, like while I'm teaching, I'll be like X, Y, and Z, and I'll be like, and for those who want to go further, go check out this resource or go check this out. And for those who don't, it's not important to getting an A in this class. I enjoy it. I will tell you, it does grate on me a little bit, like deep into the spring. I'm doing the summer class though. That starts on Monday. It won't affect jaw jacking. All right, here we go. Suleiman says, I want to start GRC. Which company should I hop to get my first job? Suleiman, if you want to get a GRC job, and this is for everybody who wants to get a junior GRC job, I would look for CMMC readiness jobs. I would look for FISMA auditor jobs. I would look for professional services jobs, i.e. go look for like Deloitte, Accenture, Booz Allen. I would also let you know that it's tough right now, man. I think Booz Allen just laid off 2,500 people or something like that. Doge came in and blew up a lot of things. So that's what I would do. How did you get your company to pay for your PhD? Scool07. So hey, here's one thing that people like. It takes work, y'all. But listen to this. My company was a state government. A lot of government agencies will, whether federal, state, local, will have tuition assistance because it's a way to like incentivize you to work there for less money. They had a tuition assistance program. I signed up for it, filled out the paperwork, and then, you know, semester by semester, I filled out the paperwork, got it paid, got it reimbursed, and that's it, Scool07. I do want to point out, you can possibly, say a company doesn't have a tuition assistance, right? You'll usually find this at private sector, but like medium-sized businesses will have the flexibility. They could be like, hey, we're going to offer you a job for 80 grand. You're like, well, I mean, the market has 100 grand. Would you be willing to give me 80 grand plus 5 grand a year towards tuition assistance with a 6-month commit for every 5 grand you give me? 6-month commit meaning you have to work 6 months after the 5 grand is doled out. You could work something like that out, and they would certainly do that. John says, how do you deal with imposter syndrome? John, just lean into it, man. Realize that you're going to make mistakes. Here's my thing. I don't try to be something I'm not. I try to be raw and authentic. And, you know, freaking my audio fails, my video fails, my video's been chunking. Sometimes I click the wrong button. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. And I'm just, here's the thing. The person you're talking to, the people that you're afraid of having imposter syndrome in front of, they are also making mistakes and they're well aware of it. So if you're just really human about it, it's fine. That doesn't make it any easier. I have a video on the channel on how to deal with imposter syndrome. I'll give you this. If you're looking for a long form answer right here, John, how to deal with imposter syndrome. I'm going to share a link to that. At John. John, here's a video of me explaining the answer to that question in a very long form way, 12 minutes. All right, next question. By the way, shout out to the mods who are facilitating these questions and making it so I can answer these rapid fire. What if you have 3 years experience in IT? This is Olivier's question. What if you have 3 years experience in IT and your bachelor's in cyber but no Sec Plus? Yes, you could still get a job. You don't need a Security Plus to get a job. The Security Plus is literally just an HR gateway tool. It's an easy way for HR to separate the two piles of resumes or separate the resumes into two piles. Those with Sec Plus move on, those without do not. Now, you can get a job on the closed market without Sec Plus because it doesn't matter if you have it, because someone's basically vouching for you. Renault Wood says, I'm currently in help desk, but it's not traditional one you're accustomed to. It's way less technical, not hands-on. I've tried networking, but people gatekeep. Any suggestions? Renault Wood, that sucks, man. I would try, see if there's opportunities where you can introduce some type of programs that basically ease friction or ease burden for the help desk at work. Also, you know, I would be networking and trying to establish relationships within your local area or network. People gatekeeping, that sucks. I'm not saying go find a new job, but like that may be what is needed. Sorry, Renell. I wish I had a better answer. Reading any books right now about cyber? Christopher Ryan Rains asks. No, I'm not reading any cyber books. I just finished reading Careless People. I'm working on AI right now, so there isn't a lot of like books to read. But the current book I'm reading, this was a gift from Chris Whitlock, but I'm currently reading this book, How to Get Over Yourself, which is a funny title, but basically this book is about how to delegate. I suck at delegating, and in case you didn't notice, why did the color on my camera get all jacked up? I look like I'm like Evening Jerry right now. That's what I'm reading right now. How to better delegate. I have maxed me out, and I do need help, and I'm trying to delegate. I have I'm trying to delegate. I'm trying to work on it, okay? If you know me, if you've worked with me, I'm a bit of a type A control freak, and I'm trying to get better at it. So that's why I'm reading a book on how to do it. But I got people helping me. Kimberly helps me. The mods, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph help me. Simply CyberCon's got a lot of volunteers that are helping me. That's a non-profit, so that's volunteer-based work. Yeah, I desperately need help. Myron says, if you happen to be neurodivergent and have difficulty with social skills, how do you advise people that might be in an environment that doesn't have empathy towards that? Ugh, that sucks, man, and I understand you. The best way I can answer that question is, because I'm not I might be neurodivergent. It's come to my attention that I might have ADHD. Community members have diagnosed me. I did a video. Hold on one second. I did a video on Simply Cyber with a bunch of neurodivergent professionals, and they were sharing. Oh, here we go. This is from 2022. Okay. I'm gonna drop a link to this one. Okay, this is like old school, but still super valuable. Hiring cybersecurity neurodivergent candidates. Nate O'Reilly is neurodivergent. He was a guest. These 4 guys were cybersecurity recruiters at the time. The focus of the talk was standing out in interviews and basically working with businesses to have empathy around neurodivergence. I'll drop a link to this in chat, Myron. If I can figure out what the URL is. Here it is. So Myron, here you go. Honestly, here's the thing. In the current climate, if you're working at a business that doesn't have empathy for neurodivergence, like, you're not going to be able to boil that ocean, right? That's like, screaming into the wind. That is a culture thing, and unfortunately, some organizations don't support it or have empathy, so there's no way to like really turn it around. You can try to communicate. Basically, here's the thing. I wouldn't try to like belabor it, but maybe when you go into a meeting or something, you just qualify it. Hey, like, listen, just so you know, I'm neurodivergent, so I might have there might be some awkward like, again, I'm making this up. I don't know your particular situation, Myron, but I feel like if people just clearly communicate, it's all good. You'd be like, hey, like, thanks for taking this meeting really quick, just so we get it out of the way. I am neurodivergent, so I might take some longer time to respond to your questions, or I may not make eye contact with you. I don't mean it as disrespect or as some type of avoidance. I'm just neurodivergent. Having said that, I look forward. Let's get into the meeting, right? So just, dude, I feel like if people just clearly communicate, it's fine. This camera's killing me, by the way. Hold on, I'm gonna try something. This is probably a bad idea to do live on stream, but no, I don't know. Can I do this? All right, that cleaned it up a little bit. Hey, Kimberly can fix it. Walking the dog. I do love myself some Louis. How do you get into teaching roles for InfoSec? Apply. I got the job at Citadel because they wanted to give me a full-time job, and it just wasn't going to work out. I would have had to have taken a pay cut, and I wasn't into that. So they were like, well, if you can't work here full-time, how about adjunct? And I was like, let's go. All right. Hey, looks like I'm caught up on questions right at 10 a.m. This is perfect, guys. It's been jaw-jacking. You guys have been amazing. Justin Gold, the whole mod team has been amazing, but Justin Gold is one who's been facilitating, so shout out to Justin Gold. If you got a squad membership and you're a mod, if you're a squad member and you have the Mod Love emote, it's one of the last ones in the emote tray, do drop it for Justin Gold. This guy's, not Justice, I'm sorry, Justin, and Justice, I'm sorry. Justin Gold, mod. It's been awesome. Yeah, tomorrow I will be less Batman. I'll be less Bane. And I'll be more, here, let me just show you really quick before I go, since I'm such a nerd for light. If you didn't know this, I'm a wicked nerd for light. I like production and everything, but light particularly is something that really interests me. You've been looking at me this way. I just want to show you what a fill light can do for the look, okay? Watch this. You can also see I'm wearing a blanket around my side here. Look at that. So that is with a fill light activated. Doesn't that look totally different? In fact, it's almost too much fill. It's actually bleeding out my backlights there, my accent lights. But anyways, just for people making content and creation, something as simple as what I just did dramatically changes the look, feel, and vibe of your content, your stream, whatever. All right, guys, be good. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, thank you all so very much. Oh, hey, really quick, just to point this out. This Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to be joined by Michael Small. We're going to be talking purple teaming. You can use this link to register, and it'll send you a calendar invite and remind you to show up. All right? Come on down. This is a new mechanism we're implementing for Simply Cyber to make it easier so everybody can not forget about the stream, because we get a lot of people who forgot to show up. All right, I'm Jerry, your chat. Until next time.